What is up, everybody? This is Recap Rewind. I'm J-Lag.
And I'm NB.
And we are recapping and reviewing Sabrina, Chapter 11, and it's called A MidWinter's Tale Now.
And don't forget, guys, stick around for the ending because we are going to go through our recap roundups, our best moments, even though I didn't really have one, our MVPs, our LVPs of the episode. So be sure to stick around for that.
And for anybody who's joining us for the very first time, thanks so much for coming through. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. And for all of you returning listeners, thanks for coming back. Let's get into the episode, y'all.
And just a quick plug. We have our Riverdale podcast happening too. So we're doing a giveaway for that.
Yes.
So I feel like if you're in the Riverdale / Greendale like fandom, tune into that podcast because we do have a giveaway, a Jughead crown pillow giveaway, so you guys should enter because it's legit free for you guys.
Yeah, and it's like the best thing ever.
Now back to Sabrina, unfortunately.
Jeez.
What'd you think of the episode?
So I don't know. Let me ask you first.
No, you go. You please go first.
Please after you. I really wanted to like this episode.
Me too.
So let me just start off right there.
I love Christmas.
I love Christmas.
I love eggnog.
Winter solstice. Like, I'm lit for all of it. I'm lit for magic as well. But, however, unfortunately, it was not exactly what I was expecting.
What were you expecting?
I think I was expecting like just a really fun time. I just
like
wanted
a filler episode, kind of where like just easy kind of music playing, sipping on some eggs.
Yes.
That's
I just feel like they tried to pull in a lot, and this was a very heavy storyline. They decided to do the whole Diana storyline in this episode, and while I know it's important, I think it's very important for this story to be told. The entire time, the question that was in my mind was, why now? Why now? Why now? Why now? For one, why are we doing a seance after 16 years? You're telling me that no one's ever tried to contact freaking Diana. And also it just didn't make sense as to why it had to happen now. Yes, like the veil is a little bit thinner now and but it just didn't connect to me. And we didn't get enough answers. She didn't get enough answers.
And at the end of the day, she didn't even really help the situation of the episode. Like the other girl ended up kind of figuring everything out. So like, she didn't really add anything to the episode.
I don't think they needed that extra layer. They could have
just chose her story to do because it's Christmas and you kind of feel like she's missing something. She's missing her mom. Sure. I get that. I would have totally bought that more than like putting like this next girl in the storyline plus Diana storyline.
Right. I just think that she was like such a Debbie Downer in the beginning of the episode, and like nobody wants to see like a Debbie Downer for Christmas. And she was like, "I miss my mama."
I mean,
and I get
fair.
it.
Yeah,
I get
it's
it.
Fair.
But also like she didn't know her mom, and we have to remember the fact that like she never knew her parents. Like she's seen pictures of them, she knows of them, but I just feel. I don't know. I guess I can't really speak. I can't really say that like it's harder for somebody.
I think it's fair that she misses her mom on Christmas. That totally makes sense to me. If they had just gone with that, you know, and had maybe like a little flashback episode with like the history of her parents or something cool like that.
Yeah,
like It's a Wonderful Life or something where like there was an alternative like reality. Oh my God, yes. Something like that. That
MB,
links.
Can you write for the show?
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
That kind of focuses on that more.
Yes,
I would have been totally down for that.
I would be totally down for that.
Yeah,
that's a great. Even if it was like a little like
Christmas magic. That's it. Christmas magic.
Totally.
Not
instead they like did a full
like
storyline.
Susie's missing.
Like she's about to get wax burned all over her body and like whatever. Like it turned into this like crazy ass story, which I know that there's a lot of like folklore around it that's true, like the whole Yule Lads thing, the Griselda, whatever her name was,
Grilda or something.
Gryla. Griselda. Like all those characters are real things from witchy folklore. But I just didn't know why they.
But they do that for all the other episodes, right? True. So like, because this was a special one, they could have done something a little bit different.
Special,
I just think.
Yeah.
Christmas magic.
Christmas magic. Also, I'm a little annoyed that we're not getting the second part until April. Like,
yeah, it's a long time, right?
I'm pretty pissed off about that. We can talk about the end of the episode. Okay, so let's just start right off at the top, and we get a little past moment, which was kind of cute.
Yeah.
Okay, so it starts off with Hilda taking Sabrina and Mr. What's his name taking Susie to
this was
Santa's,
oh my God,
Santa's
like
house.
Legit took me like 10 minutes to be like, wait, that's not them.
Yeah,
because like Susie's character looked like her for real.
Yeah, it was so weird,
right?
And also Sabrina's character is the young like she is the one from Hill House, the Haunting of Hill House.
Yes,
so
I knew I recognized her.
She's been in a few things, but she's taken a picture with Kieran, and like they look exactly the same. Yeah. And it's funny because I think that she was also in I, Tonya, and when I first watched I, Tonya, I thought that it was Kieran. Oh my god! And I think I remember even asking you, I'm like, oh, is that Kieran Shipka? And you're like, no, she's too young. She was I,
Tonya. But you're right.
Anyway, hilarious moments, adorable. But yeah, she's such a Debbie Downer even in this moment. She's like, I miss my mom. I just want my mommy.
Yeah.
Which I get. Fine,
fair.
Fine.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I noted in this that I need to talk about because it kind of comes back a little bit later is Hilda is talking to Mr. Putnam about the missing children.
Right.
And she's like, oh, there's like some missing children. So I guess it's setting up the story for what happens later on in the story. But also, like, Hilda doesn't book this until like way later. So anyway.
But does this happen every year that kids go missing?
I think so, yeah. I think
and they haven't figured anything out.
No one's figured it out
all the time.
No one's ever thought it was like a weird situation. So yeah, kids are literally missing. Whatever. Back to regular times, and we're all at the Sabrina household, and the Spellman household, and it's baby Letitia. She got a name now. Letitia. And so real life, real time now, Sabrina is missing her mom and dad again.
It's still. Like feels. Christmas
real feels.
I get it.
And then the next point that we have to make in this is Zelda says, keep the Yule log lit.
Yeah.
Because
and like as soon as she says that, I'm like, great, it's not going to stay lit.
Yeah.
And something tragic is going to happen.
Let's get expositional. She's like, the Yule log is the Yule log because you burn it, and then like the spirits can be like in it, and if you don't turn it off, then I'm like, okay.
This whole show is expositional.
So expositional.
And it's my biggest struggle. I struggle with it because I'm like, I get that they have to be. I totally get it because we don't know the world. They have to explain it. But I think there's better ways of explaining 100%. It because every time they do, I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, like, it's like Zelda's like dribble on voice. She's like, and then you go and light it. Like she also has like,
can't be lit out because then it's the end of the world. I'm like, okay, well, that I know what's gonna happen now. I know what's gonna happen. Like there has to be a better way.
It was so much of that setup this episode that kind of annoyed me. That I was like, okay, I know what's coming. And I hate feeling like I know what's coming.
I know. You know what I mean? I know, and it's been happening especially in Sabrina. Like I've noticed it a lot because it is their first season. They're trying to explain a lot of the world to us. I get it. There has to be another way. I'm not feeling it this way.
Yeah, me too.
And also, I don't know if you noticed, but the sound effects are so effing lit. Like I guess I'm like lit because I have my earbuds in too. Yeah. Like it's so loud. Like everything they do has a sound effect, like a shriek, like like they're forcing me to feel like fear.
Right.
And I'm not scared. Like you're just staring at a fireplace. Like I'm not scared right now.
Yeah.
But the sound effects are so intense.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I hear you. Moving on to Ambrose, and she talks to Ambrose, which is also like one of the most lame characters this episode.
Oh my god! What do you mean? Oh, this episode, the whole season.
But like also this episode
love him
especially.
So much, but like
I don't understand this whole. Anyway, we'll get to that later. But she says to Ambrose that she misses her mom, which okay, fine, we get it. And she says that she saw her mom in limbo. Which I don't know why she only told Ambrose and she didn't say like, by the way, aunties, I saw my freaking mom in limbo. Is that weird or not? Like she doesn't say anything about it, but he's like, oh, that must be weird. I wonder what kind of like unfinished business she might have. And she was like, what should I do a seance? And he's like, absolutely not. And because she says that something along the lines of like, oh yeah, like the veil is the thinnest, whatever, I can try to talk to her. And then he's like, no, that's not a good idea. And then she's like, okay, it's just an idea. Like you said just now,
every episode has the same template.
And every single moment is, again, the next thing that's going to happen. Oh, I shouldn't do a seance. So you know she's going to do a seance.
You know she's going to do a seance.
Cut to 10 minutes later, she's doing a seance. Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's way too predictable.
It's so predictable.
And I'm telling you, like, it's a format.
Yeah.
Like, they got to break out of this mold. This is insane.
Yeah,
like,
it's obvious.
way too predictable.
Way too obvious. So then it cuts to Miss Wardwell, and she's praying to Satan because I guess he like literally dropped her like a bad habit. He's like, she's like, God, she's like, Jesus. No, she doesn't say Jesus.
They can't say
Satan.
Jesus, yeah.
She's like, oh, Satan. Like, you know, I delivered her to you, like she signed the book, but like you literally disappeared, like you're not speaking to me anymore.
Like ghosted her for real.
Like lost my number. Like here's my number again.
You're not even on Instagram anymore. Like I can't even
follow
you.
me. Yeah. blocked. So whatever. While she's praying, Sabrina comes in. She's like, happy solstice. And she asked about a seance. And she was like, well, I know that you're probably going to want to do it anyway and get it from one of your weird friends from school. So like, here's my book.
Like, go for it.
But she was like, yeah, I saw my mom up in there in the business. So before she tells her aunts, she tells Wardwell and she tells Ambrose.
Right.
Like, please, girl, I don't get it.
Yeah.
So then when she leaves, she's like, okay, I am going to fuck this shit up because like, what if Diana says something shady and then like gets her back on like the good side or whatever. And I'm like, but you think that this situation, this potential situation could have been a concern from Wardwell from the get-go? Like, was it all just because she found her in limbo that now everyone's like reacting so quickly to be like, Wardwell's like, okay, now I got to do something about it.
Yeah.
Like, no one checked for Diana's soul this whole time.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
you're telling me that the aunts, as soon as they died suddenly and left their daughter alone, they didn't think like maybe she's in like limbo, that they can maybe try to contact her. Like, it just doesn't connect with me.
I don't know, unless they somehow explain it all in the end,
but they really
I don't imagine. Really don't. Yeah.
So anyway, Sabrina tries to get her like mortal friends to help her with the seance. She's like, oh, you want to come through, Susie and Roz? And they say, obviously not.
Yeah.
What did you think of this? Because originally
I was kind of shook a little bit.
Yeah, were you like,
I was like, why aren't they like helping her though?
But also, don't you think it is a little weird that she's asking?
I guess. Like why would they help
why
you
she's
now?
like, hey, she's not even like, come over and like let's watch like some Christmas movie. She's like, do you want to do a seance? Like, I think it's a little
also
extra.
This is kind of like the thing where like it doesn't really connect the episodes, because we saw in the finale essentially, she was walking all badass with her witch friends. So like, you're already assuming that like, okay, she's kind of moved away from her real friends. She's now with the witch girls. Like, it's all good and done. But then she goes back to the girls. So I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, I thought you had the witch girls, like they were your friends now.
And I guess it's just going to speak to the fact that they're not connected as characters anymore, because she's doing her own witchy shit now and they're still humans and like they're still kind of getting adjusted to it.
I guess what I got from it was like she's trying so hard to still include her regular friends in her life.
Yes, I agree.
But I'm already over that, because you guys showed me at the end this crazy slow-mo walk through the hallways of the school. So that feeling inside of me of like she's moved on, I already got that.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why you're making her go back to be like, no, I still want my real friends too.
But like,
I don't get it. Like, there's too much. Yeah.
So anyway, so they don't. But then she sees Harvey in the background, and so then she talks to Harvey, and she decides to give him a present.
Right.
Before he gets a present, he just explains how like his dad's really bad right now. He's been drinking more than ever.
His dad has just not been good all season.
Yeah,
like,
he's been awful.
Real.
Yeah,
like,
he's been a shitty character.
Yeah.
And Harvey just has to take care of him, whatever. And so she's like, okay, noted. Yeah. I'm going to try to fuck this up again. And then she was like, here's some magic pencils. So she gave him some magic coloring pencils because he's like a good artist or whatever. But he's like, are they enchanted? And she's like, yep. Like, literally, she's
not even like, hiding it.
He requested specifically, like, I can't deal with your magic shit. Leave me out of
the magic.
Like, he said it last episode. He almost died because of it. If you don't remember episode 10, that you're gonna bring him magic pencils, he's not gonna feel triggered. Like, his brother died because of magic.
There are so many inconsistencies between like the real world and her world, and her as a character, that annoy me. Like, this annoyed me so much. Like, yo, if you love your man and he told you leave me out of the magic, you're gonna go bring him magic pencils?
Like, come on.
You're not listening right now. Like, you're not a good listener.
You should
not be his girlfriend, and you're not. So
and you're not. Yeah, it's
stop
true.
giving him gifts. How about that?
Well, that's the funny thing that killed me too. Is just last episode.
She's being so thirsty.
Last episode, she broke up with him. So for her to turn around, like, are you trying to like?
Which fine, okay, fine. Get him a gift, act like a bigger person, but then you're getting him like a witchy gift.
Yeah, which he specifically told you not to do.
She's just not ready.
Rude.
She ain't ready for the Harvey's D.
Yeah, that's for sure. So then it cuts back to magic school. So then she goes to the weird sister. She's like, so since you guys have no families, you want to go over to my place and do a seance? And they're like, yeah, I'm lit.
So mean. Yeah, they're like, we're orphans. Yeah. Clearly we have nowhere to go.
It's so tight. So yeah, she's like, crawl up in my bed. Like, she can't even invite them in properly. She has to like freaking pull them in through a window. And so I think it's Agatha who decides, she's like, I'm like doing seances now, so like I can do it.
This is my realm.
So she gets like a few speaking moments in this episode. So then it cuts to Santa's workshop, and Roz visits Susie. Like, NB's already like laughing hysterically at me because Roz visits her. She's like hugging her or whatever. And
Hold on. I love how in the promo for this episode, we literally, the first thing we said was like, wait, Sue's going to be an elf, right?
And she sure was.
We could just write this entire season, man. We could just write this entire season. Done. I already know what's going to happen in the end. I'm good.
So
she's an elf.
She's an elf.
She's working at the elf shop. Or Santa's workshop.
It just kills me that like Roz sees her, she gives her a hug or whatever, and then Santa's kind of a weirdo and he's like really
Santa's
strict.
Creeped me out this season. So we had a really like tangent, I'm sorry right now, but like we had a serial killer in Toronto.
Oh my god, I didn't know the story.
Yeah. He was killing in the gay community.
Oh yeah.
He was a serial killer Santa Claus. He was a Santa Claus, guys. He was a serial killer Santa Claus that worked at the biggest mall in the city. He used to be there for like how many years? So now when I saw him,
you see Santa,
I saw Santa, I'm like, oh,
are you a killer?
I'm like, you're a killer, probably. And he clearly was. I was right because I wrote this season.
Santa is a murderer. Just be ready. Take your kids to work day. Like, it's just... Anyways,
I'm sorry. That was a really side note, but that was where I was coming from. I was like, ew, Santa's. And I was right.
Santa's are murderers. I was like,
Susie, get off his lap.
Well, she wasn't on his lap, that's for sure. So,
she was when they were kids. In the flashback. Creeps me out, man.
So yeah, so as Roz is leaving, she like gives her like a last look and she's like, and I'm like, okay, so she's getting the cunning, right? Like that's what I'm assuming.
She's cunning.
She's cunning in that moment. She's cunning right now. And she just walks away.
But does she see anything in that moment? We don't see anything of what she sees. But she clearly has a vibe.
Yes.
She has the cunning.
She has the cunning.
So what did you think she was cunning in that moment?
I think she was cunning what she said later, that she said that she was cunning.
Well, obviously, but what did you think she was cunning in that moment?
I don't know, because she doesn't say shit to anybody. That's the thing that pissed me off, was like, you literally held on to this information to the very end of the episode. Weird. So anyway, I even listened back to like what happens later on, and I'm like, did she do it that night or did she do it in that moment, like this moment that we were seeing right now? Did she do what? Like, did she get the cunning in that moment?
She did, obviously.
Yeah, she did. But anyway, she let Susie die either way. And so then it cuts to Susie cleaning up like with Santa.
Yeah. And she's like working overtime, and there's like no one else around, which is really weird.
And then like one of like, while she's cleaning, like one of the like statues like blinks at her and she like freaks out.
So creepy.
And then she turns around and like Santa is covering her face. And the thing that I wrote down was like, weird. Where is her ghost aunt when you need her?
Yeah,
like where's Aunt Dorothea?
Does she only live in the house? I don't think so. Because she's only seen her in the
She's only seen her in the house, but technically she was at the mines because she was like, Aunt Dorothea told me to like crawl into the hole.
Maybe she told him before to crawl. From home, she told her, go to that and go in the hole.
She gave her a phone call. She
texted her. I messaged.
I don't even know. But that's the thing. I was like, you're telling me that the veil of whatever between mortal worlds and whatever is the thinnest now, and we
no one else comes back,
and not even her like aunt. Like, give her that storyline. Get her that information to get more information from her Aunt Dorothea. Like, you literally glowed her up from episode freaking 1 to 10, and then this one episode about ghosts, she's nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
And she can't even help her sister out. Like, she can't even help Susie out in this situation. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
Anyway, fuck it.
I know. I could sit here all day and agree with you, but like our listeners are gonna be like, yo, these guys are hating on this show so hard right now.
Anyway,
it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
But yeah, he basically covers her hit. I was like, oh my god, what's he gonna do to her? Like, guys, every single bad thought came in my mind. I was like, I am not prepared to watch this scene right now.
Like it got really dark.
I thought it was gonna be like something else.
Oh god. Yeah. So then it cuts to So then it cuts to Wardwell, and she like built her own gingerbread house. Like, it was the most lit gingerbread house.
She was like us on Sunday.
Yeah, she literally built her own gingerbread house, except hers was like way prettier than mine. And then she puts out the Yule log. She like pours like vodka down the chimney, and like it goes out. So like, obviously, ironically, in that moment,
so she built their house.
She built their house. She pours it. She like even made like little Sabrina gingerbread and like whatever. And at the Spellman household, in that exact moment, Sabrina is doing her seance with her weird sisters. and the mom shows up. So
Diana.
like they're not really sure what's going on. Like they're calling her, and she shows up, and she's like, her whole body's there. Like she's actually standing right in front of them. In that moment, did you think that it was like a demon, or did you think it was her?
I thought it was a demon for sure.
I'm like, because why isn't she speaking?
Yeah.
But then also,
and it happened so fast too. I was like, what?
I'm like, do I believe Agatha? Do we still trust these bitches? Like they're still pretty like.
Not that I
skeptical.
didn't trust the sisters, but I thought maybe she messed up the spell or something,
Right.
and like Wardwell like got through to them or something.
True. So anyway, it turns out that it kind of was her, but she couldn't say anything. So she's like, Mom. And then she's not speaking. She's like, Agatha's like, there's something happening, because in that moment, like something comes through the chimney. Like and
it wasn't Santa.
And it wasn't Santa, that's for sure. And so anyway, she leaves. Like she disappears as soon as Zelda opens up the door. So she tells like the weird sisters to leave, and then she goes downstairs, and like the whole tree's knocked over. She's like, what the fuck did you do? And she was like, okay, well, whatever, like what are you gonna do? Like,
and the log is out.
Yeah. And so she just kind of gets pissed off at Sabrina. She's like, of all the times that you could have fucking done this, like you did it at this one time, like why are you doing this seance? And she's like, I miss my mom. Like it brings me back memories. It's Christmas,
stuff. Bitch.
It's Christmas. I want to see my mama. So anyway, whatever. They do like a full like check around the house. So what
Zelda said 10 minutes earlier of what should never happen happened now.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
On time.
Yeah.
So anyway, she doesn't give a shit because she goes to Harvey's house anyway, and she brings him eggnog.
Right.
So after she like totally goes and fucks up the entire seance,
she's like, let me go fuck up another part of my life.
Like, and that's the thing. I think there's nothing that we can love about Sabrina.
She's like Archie level right now, eh? Like this is like creeping on Archie territory.
Like that's it's
like
I've been done saying that
are...
shit. Like she's just like off her game.
Yeah. So she goes to Harvey's house. She brings eggnog, right?
And it's enchanted,
but it's spiked,
with like something that will make him not be an alcoholic, which is like,
I
guess it's like low-key like a good thing, but like also like anyway, there's always repercussions. That's why I always say there's always repercussions to like these kinds of things. Christmas magic. So then it cuts to Susie's home, and she like didn't come home. So Mr. Putnam's like, what's going on? So then he calls Roz, and Roz is like, no, she's not home or whatever. And then it cuts to Santa's workshop, and it shows Susie, and she's literally about to like get destroyed.
He like chained her up.
He chained her
up.
And
at this point, I'm like, Jesus Christ, what is gonna happen to Susie? Like, what are they gonna? What did you think was gonna happen?
I really thought that like. Well, I thought she was gonna die. I didn't think it was gonna be like.
Oh, you thought like she was gonna be dead?
Yeah, I thought she was gonna get killed.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think she was gonna die. I thought like something else was gonna happen to her.
She was gonna get.
Like 13 Reasons Why.
Something bad happened to her.
It was really scary, guys. It was really creeping me out.
I mean, already like the whole idea of like kidnapping children is already enough for me to be
and
like
then plus
really
he was
scared.
Santa, so I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Anyway, he was like this weird like wood-looking demon monster guy.
Yeah, because I think he takes off his face.
Yeah, his face
inside or whatever.
So then she looks and she like starts screaming, whatever.
Like now she's scared.
So then it cuts back to the Spellman household, and everyone's just kind of doing their own thing. Ambrose is like writing a paper or something, and he sees in the corner of his eye. This part was probably the scariest part of the episode.
This part was really scary.
This reanimated corpse, because he's like burying a body, but like the corpse keeps coming to life and like getting closer and closer. He sees her
in like the reflection of like a mirror
like a tiny
or something.
Mirror? Yeah, it was such a random thing.
He was like writing notes down or whatever, and he keeps seeing her. Like he looks up and then she's there, and then she's not there.
Yeah,
it was like Miley Cyrus in the carpool like karaoke. She was like there, and then she was like gone. It was like very much like that.
It was just a random thing to happen, but like anyway, so finally he turns around and he's like, whoa.
He's like, yo, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. And then she like drops the knife, whatever, and so then they get spooked, and then all of his like and then all of his
the doors start
like
the bodies
to clamor or whatever, and then it cuts to Hilda, and she's just like, she's out here baking like her life. She's at bakelife.com. And so she's baking, and then like things start going missing. She sees like footprints in like the flour.
Okay, guys, we get it. The house is haunted. Like, come on, like haunted. To the point.
I'm like, come on. Did you really have to go to every single character?
She kept putting the knife like to the left of her, and then it was like it moved to the right. She's like, oh, okay, and then it moved again. She's like, oh, okay. Like it happens so many times. I'm like, okay.
And that's the thing. I was waiting for something to like really tragically happen, like some jump scare, but really it was like a bag of flour.
And also like you guys are witches. You guys should know when like shit's like
yeah. She's like, oh, I'm going crazy.
Oh, I must have just forgotten the knife on that side.
Like, and then
like,
it's like on the other side.
You know the Yule log's out. Like some shit's like about to happen.
And especially when it's like a very dire moment. Yeah, the Yule log's out. It could be any bad spirit that's gonna come kill
like,
you.
They make them so
You
stupid.
can't like put some quick protection spell around you, or like some like revealing spell. Like you're telling me these witches like failed out of school or something. I don't know. So then it cuts to Zelda. So that happens to Hilda.
Yeah,
I think
in the
knives
kitchen.
come
the
at her.
Knives go on the ceiling and then it falls around her.
Like they don't kill her.
Yeah, they don't
obviously.
kill her.
And then Zelda is taking care of baby Letitia. And then she is like playing hide and seek or whatever.
It was so cute.
And then suddenly the freaking baby goes missing. And the thing that killed me the most was like the sewing machine goes off. And like in the sewing machine, it says like, "We stole your baby." Like in perfect writing.
Like, she's like playing with the baby. She goes across the room to see that noise.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's like, "We took your baby." She's like, "What?"
Like,
the baby's gone.
Like the baby's gone. But also like they wrote that so fast on the knitting machine.
So
I was like, that was so extra. And so then they realize that it's the Yule lads.
If we ever have merch, we should definitely like do that as one of our like merch shirts.
Ooh, we have your baby.
We stole your baby.
I'm into it.
The Yule. What were they called?
So
the Yule kids?
Yule lads.
The Yule lads.
So the Yule lads show up. So it turns out that they aren't poltergeists. They're actual like demons. And I looked them up and they look like little elves, basically.
I want to look them up.
They're like troublemaking elves. And you get once again an expositional explanation from freaking Zelda, and she's like, "Well, Gryla."
They're so cute.
Yeah, they look like little dwarves.
We'll post a picture up for you guys to see it.
Yeah, it's weird. So then, yeah, it turns out that you can't get rid of them unless their mother comes home, and their mother is another witch named Gryla. And so they're like, okay, we're gonna have to make a deal with her. But take away baby Letitia, because if they find baby
Letitia, finds like a pure baby, like she'll want to like
she's gonna like jack
eat it.
No, she just takes
she
it.
wants to take it. Yeah,
and she like
she's like a mom, like she wants to be a mom for like ever.
She had like an interesting story, like if you know the folklore or whatever. Like anyway, I'm not gonna get into it because like we had enough of it from freaking Zelda. So so then she's downstairs. So Sabrina's downstairs with Letitia, and then upstairs they're trying to like distract
because now she's here,
Gryla to take
and they're like, "Yo,
away.
Gryla, like come through, like come in, like we made you like pastries and like biscuits and like
and she's
food.
like, I want alcohol, please."
And she's like, "I'll have some gin."
And I'm like, "You're my friend."
Yeah, I was like, "I like you.
Yeah.
Can you please be in the cast forever?"
Bombay
like,
Sapphire, like come through. So anyway, as she's about to leave, sure enough, the baby starts crying, and she's like, oh, "Okay, here we go." So then Sabrina has to come upstairs. So they're all in the living room, and she says,
like, "I smell the baby, and like I smell that it wasn't yours.
Yeah.
So like it's mine now.
Give me the baby."
Yeah.
So then out of nowhere, freaking Diana
like
shows
why
the fuck up.
like LVP, like where were you freaking 50 minutes ago?
And also she's talking now. So now she's like a fully functioning ghost.
So random.
And so she's talking, and she's got a freaking crown on her head, and she was like, "I was a child," and like
she's like, "I was a mother too, and I lost my child." Cool, we get it. We get the meaning behind all of this.
Yes. But why are you here though?
And also, they kicked out Ambrose from the house.
Yeah, so Ambrose goes to a fucking party. He like literally goes to a Christmas party.
Which I didn't understand because like before he was just like kind of like sulking in the corner.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Yo, Ambrose, like you gotta dip because like she doesn't like men."
Yes.
So then he was like, "Sick, I'm gonna go to the party." And I'm like, "What party? Like you were like just chilling by yourself like 5 minutes ago."
Yeah.
Like, whose party?
Off at a party.
It's like a fake party.
With freaking Luke. And like the shittiest part about it was like they literally had a party scene, but there was nothing that came of it. I literally watched it and I was like, okay, so he like walks into the party, he's like sick, and then
that's it.
The end. Literally the end.
Story
he doesn't
sucks.
even see Luke. He doesn't even like make out
Luke's
with Luke.
After.
Luke comes later.
That's so weird.
I'm just like, you guys are so like, you either getting so many deleted scenes or like it's just, I don't know, it's just so whack. So anyway, he's out of the picture for now, and so Diana decides to put this game together where it's like you make a circle in the middle of the living room, and whoever
like you
can
fight for the baby,
like pull off her arms the most,
or like hold on for longer, I guess, before like the other person like lets go or something.
Yeah, it was just
like,
really fucked up.
If they hold on too long, like the baby can like
rip in half.
Like rip in half.
Like what the?
I was like, what kind of game is this? So, like, who's been drinking the gin? Clearly, this woman.
Yeah, and already I was like really weirded out by the whole situation. I'm like, this can't be the real situation. So I'm glad that it wasn't true. But yeah,
I feel like the folklore is all there for the writers to jump off of, and then they add their own like ending to it.
Yeah,
and then they just fuck it up,
and they just make it weird.
Like this whole thing was like, oh, okay, I'm buying all of this, and then it's like, but play a game on the floor. pull the baby into two parts and like see who wins. I was like, what? Where? Like, this is really the story? This is really a game?
I was like, what's fucking happening?
What the hell?
So anyway, Gryla wins because Zelda can't do it. She's like, I can't bring myself to do it. And it's like a game of chicken, essentially, with a live baby in the middle of it all. So yeah, she takes the baby, she like dips, and then it turns out, so
because like Sabrina was so confident too. She's like, too bad, Aunt Zelda, she won. And I was like, okay, this bitch has got like a plan for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Because then Zelda's like, yo, what the hell? Like, why'd you give her my baby?
Why'd you do that? It was so quick.
Yeah.
And I was also like, damn, Sabrina's like savage. And also like her mom just showed up for like 2 seconds.
No, for a minute I was like, I thought for sure that they like played her for sure. Like they legit gave her the baby.
Yeah, like let's get rid of this damn baby off the cast because I'm over it. Like it was so random. So I mean, that's the thing too. I was like, what are they gonna do with this baby? And
then she basically says, she's like, I put a cloaking spell.
She put a cloaking spell.
And like cloaking spells for the win at this point. Because in AHS too, like it basically won it the whole season. So cloaking spells are for the win.
Spells are for the win for sure. So in that moment, Roz comes in and she's like, oh, by the way, I had the cutting like 2 days ago, but like I'm telling you right now.
No, wait, guys, let me act out this scene because this is my favorite part of the episode. She goes, Brina, she's like, Susie's missing since last night. And then Sabrina's like, Susie's missing? For how long? Girl, she just said last night, bro. She didn't listen since last night.
It was like a scripting error for sure.
Total error. It was such a weird edit. And I was like,
Yeah. So she said that she's been missing. She's been missing since and then she got the cunning and she realized. And like that's the thing that killed me. Is like her cunning was so on point. She was like, I had the cunning.
She saw the whole episode, bro. Yeah. She saw the ending. Like, why couldn't you just know from the beginning that this was gonna happen to your friend?
Like literally jetstorm to your friend who's a witch and try to figure out the situation. Instead, you
like she even knew, like she even knew who took Susie. Like, it's one thing if she like maybe in the store she saw someone like something happening to Susie, and she was like, okay, like I don't know really the full story, but whatever.
Like you see,
she legit saw the Santa grabbing Susie and like freaking putting wax on her face. Like she saw the entire ending.
Exactly. I'm just like what the fuck is happening? It's just so whack. So even in that moment, she says something about Mr. Bartell. And then Hilda decides to pipe in and she's like, oh, Bartell. She's like, Bartell's like a demon. That can't be coincidence.
Yeah.
I'm like, so you're telling me the same person who has been doing this Santa Claus thing, aka
with that name
20 years ago when those kids were missing, you were in line. You didn't put those two things together.
Are dumb.
Like get out of
like
here.
You are dumb.
Like your witch like licenses have been revoked. God. Like I don't understand how you.
It's just I don't know where that comes into play. Like is it in the writing that they can't make these stories a little bit more complex so that the characters can really solve them, and we can solve it through the characters,
exactly.
But everything is so laid out and so fucking easy to understand,
right?
Like it makes them look so stupid.
Yeah, if more than anything, you just like they're like, oh yeah, true. Oh yeah, true. Like
what do you mean?
You're telling me that Hilda never, in one moment in time, never put those two things together? Children were literally missing for decades, and no one realized like Mr. Bartell could be Bartell the demon. Nope. Okay, cool.
Nothing.
Okay, moving on. Like 16 years later.
Even if they had just said like, oh yeah, we thought for sure he was a weird guy or something. Like
what the fuck? Anyway, watch the episode. It's great, guys. So then it cuts to so then they're like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna call Grilla.
She's like this. First she's like this.
Grilla.
She's like, okay. She's like, let's like do a spell so like you can come here. And then Zelda's like, nah, let's play this cool. Let's open up the white pages. I was like, why? You've been doing magic this whole freaking time. Just do magic one more time.
They just made it more like
it's so dumb.
Like, whatever.
So then she opens up the phone book and she finds his address.
Yeah, finds his actual address. And they're like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna call up Gryla, who we just like fucked over like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And like I'm so glad that Sabrina said it, because I'm like, this is the stupidest storyline error.
She literally was me, that woman. She's like, we're gonna ask her to help us. We just screwed her over.
Yeah. And then she was like,
yeah.
She's like, don't worry about it. She's like, he hurts children. There's nothing she hates more than people who hurt children.
But you guys just screwed her over.
But you literally gave her a fake baby. So I don't think she's gonna care. But whatever.
I didn't understand.
She clearly did. So anyway, Susie's back at like his place, and he's got some weird like Italian Pinocchio accent.
No,
he's
it's like Russian. I didn't understand his accent either.
He was like, "Hello, girl, I am going." Anyway,
that's
whatever.
like Jamaican.
I can't do accents.
He's like, "One more time, I'm going to, put the wax on your face." I was like,
definitely wrong. I'm pretty sure it was
like my
dad.
dad.
It's like, no, we're both very bad at accents. So, she's about to die. She's literally about to get thrown into like a pot of melting wax, and I'm like, that's the part
you
that
think her aunt would come now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Be like, peace out, girl. See you soon on the other side. Like nothing.
Nothing.
Not even that.
They didn't pay her as the actress. But the one thing that killed me too was like, you're telling me that it took the whole day for that wax to boil.
Oh yeah, that wax takes a long time, and that shit hurts.
I'm done. So anyway, whatever. Gryla comes in at the perfect moment, of course. Yeah. And she's gets
like, knock knock, where's my baby?
Yeah, she ends up killing him. She like dirks him.
So savage.
And then
like, why couldn't anyone else do this from time?
The funniest part was like she like gets Susie out and she's like, do you have a family?
She's like, do you have parents? And she's like, yeah, I have one dad. She's like, okay, you can go. I'm not going to steal you.
But like if she said no, she definitely would have taken her. So then it cuts to like this really weird moment where like they're all outside. Like Gryla's now with like her like kids. And like the guy's now dead, but he's like a candle holder.
Yeah,
like,
she poured like the wax over his head.
Yeah, so like, oh, okay, we got it. Cool.
Like cool punishment, bro.
Like whatever, guys. I'm over it. So then it cuts to Zelda back at the Spellman household.
But the thing is, she never questions.
Please wait.
Like Gryla,
yeah,
never questions like who sent her there.
Yeah, no, I think they do call her up. They're like, "Hey, P.S." But she doesn't. I guess she like forgives them because now she has like the spirits of the like kids in like that were stuck in the wax bodies. So she's like, at least I have you guys now.
Yeah.
But like, it was weird. So, but that's what I mean. Like, you guys couldn't have done this like decades ago.
Yeah.
Like literally 16 years ago, Hilda could have figured this out, and then Gryla would have like been like your girl from time.
Yeah.
Like, she would have been like, yo, you know what? You got a baby. Don't worry about it. Have a good time.
Through. Yeah.
Like anyway, whatever. Moving on. So Zelda decides to send the baby. Because she's like, you know what? I can't do this again. Like, the baby's going to be in danger this whole time. So she finally decides to send the baby to Desmelda. In this moment, did you know who the fuck Desmelda was?
No, I'm literally looking at you being like, who the F is this girl?
So I had to Google it literally just now. Desmelda is noted in the Thanksgiving episode. She's the one with the bug eye who lives on Moon Valley or Moon Mountain or whatever the fuck. When they go to...
Oh my God, in the forest?
Yeah.
She's going to give the baby to her? Yeah. She thinks that the baby's going to have a better life in that place? Yeah. Yo, these people are whack. I'm done.
Like, Envy's leaving. She's literally leaving. Yeah, it's just a whack situation.
Why would they give her the baby?
I don't know. I really don't. Guys, let us know if you guys understand this whole situation.
I'm changing my WTF moment right now to that, because...
So, guys, I can't. So then it cuts to... So everybody leaves, whatever. And but do you think that's a good resolve? I guess not.
No, look, this is the thing. I definitely knew that the baby couldn't last because they can't film with this baby. Let's be real. Letitia, like, you ain't on the payroll just yet. Like,
yeah,
you're a baby, so they can't film with you all the time.
Yeah.
So I understand that like the baby had to go somewhere, but I don't understand why that she's going to that girl.
But do you think that like it's gonna wrap around at some point in time?
It will. I'm sure it will. He's gonna find her.
I was kind of
Blackwood will find her.
But like that's the thing. I was kind of surprised that it like wrapped itself up within an episode. Like, I know that we shouldn't have like wanted it to go on forever, but like it literally finished in one episode. Like, she had the baby, she didn't have the baby.
I felt like it was a weak ass excuse. Now that you're saying what it is, that's so effing weak.
That's what I mean.
That's so
like there should be a better thing to have happened to her. Like she like I said, I think we even said like Prudence could have taken care of her in the freaking orphanage. Like literally anything. I don't know. And like instead she gets sent to Desmelda. Like, what the fuck? It's just whack. It's just a weird story. Like, you're telling me this kid's gonna be raised in the woods with like no education,
a freaking 9-year-old woman with like a bulging eye. Like, is she gonna go to school? Is she gonna have a normal life?
I don't even know.
Letitia. Did you know who they were talking about when they first said it?
I kind of guessed. I don't know why, but I thought it might have been her.
Because the way they said it, the confidence sounded like we
like
had known her before. Yeah, but I was like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, it was like, it's a Zelda, but like Desmelda. Like, it's just the same thing. Anyway, she's like, I'm Desmelda. Imagine.
That is me. She's like, I tricked you all.
She's like, I'm the one with the bulging eyeball. Anyway, whatever. Let's move on to the next moment. So Sabrina's mom suddenly shows up in her room. Yeah. And she's like, Merry Christmas. And that's it.
That's it.
The end. That's the end of the episode, guys. No, it's just so random. Almost. So so then she says, like, she asked her, like, why are you in limbo? Now she can, like, speak. And she's like, listen, I didn't know if you were, like, loved. You were going to be loved because, like, aww, you're a baby, and like I didn't know if you were gonna have a mother. But then she's like, now I see, like, you have people around you and people love you and whatever, so I'm good. And then she says, well, I have an issue right now with a boy who's immortal, just like you.
I was like, girl, this is the one moment you have with your freaking mom like, this ever, is probably, before her soul, like, dips. And, like, you're going to ask about a boyfriend?
Like, can you ask if, like, you were murdered, maybe?
Gee,
like,
seriously. Like, Mom, who killed you? Let me get revenge. No, she's like, I have boy troubles. And I got my period, too. What do I do with that? Like, it wasn't even that. And it should have been that.
You're also telling me that, like, she never decided to do a seance as soon as, like, her mom came through to figure out whether or not she was to sign the book. No?
Yeah.
Anybody? No?
Mom?
Writers?
Mom?
Anybody?
Mom?
Okay. Never mind. So, yeah. So she says, don't date Harvey, basically. She basically says, like, I would never want to put anybody through that. Like, it was pretty hard shit. So, like, don't do it. She's like, got it, Mom. Got it. And then she's like, ooh, did you hear that? And then she turns and, like, her mom's gone. Like, she literally fucked off like a real pig. So the thing that I had questions about was, would you like to see her Diana come back around at some point again?
Yeah, definitely. In my notes, I put that I want to see both the parents come back at some point. Yeah. I want to see their story. I want it to all fit, and I really want it to make sense. And I'm down to wait for it to really have that emotional moment.
Right.
Like, I want to cry when all of this happens. Like, I want to cry. Right. And it didn't feel like that emotional this time around. So that's fair. I hope next time when they do bring her back, or the dad even, like, something more happens maybe.
Yeah. So then it cuts to Harvey coming over and talking to Sabrina, and he gives her back the pencils because he says, for one, thank you for the enchanted eggnog. And she's like, wink, wink. But also, like, are you mad at me? Yeah. And he's like, yes.
Yeah, like, don't be doing this shit to me.
And, like, that's the thing. Like, she is trying, but she did not learn her lesson. Like, she literally tried to bring her, like, zombie brother back. Like, yeah. Didn't learn the lesson. So he gives them back, and he says, I don't want to be a part of magic. I hope you understand that. And she's like, okay, fine. Yeah. And that was the end of that moment.
That was it.
What did you think of that?
I loved it. I will explain more in my recap roundups.
Okay. And then the final moment is Hilda saying, yes, we got through, like, the first part of Christmas, but now we just have to get through the Epiphany. And then, like, it shows 3 wise demons coming out of the mines.
So I guess the mines are like the Hellmouth from Buffy, basically.
It definitely is, for sure. And then that's the end of the episode.
Yeah. And I don't get that connection though, because, like, we're not going to come back to Christmas in April. So, like, what's going to happen with these guys? Here's what I was thinking.
I was like, are we going to get a Christmas gift from RAS, and we're going to get the second part dropped at some point in time during the holidays?
Yeah. I don't want anything from RAS.
I don't even give a F about this story. I barely give an F about it now. I'm not going to give an F about it in April. Like,
seriously. Fuck. Like, I'm going to be down for summer in April.
Come on. You're telling me that we're going to be stuck in freaking winter time?
I don't know what that meant. Because I was confused. So I was like, I thought we're done with the story.
So I don't know. We'll see. But it'll be interesting to see. I just wanted it all to be wrapped up now. Like, finish it up now.
Yeah, me too.
When she said like, oh yeah, like, well, let's wait till the Epiphany. I'm like, you're telling me it's not over yet? Like, Christmas isn't done yet? Like, oh my gosh.
You guys are making me hate Christmas at this point.
Let's move on to our recap roundups.
Recap roundups. Best moment. What was your best moment?
My best moment was Zelda offering to help for the seance, because I think at one point in time Sabrina's like, I'm sorry I didn't tell you, but I didn't, like, you know, I just didn't think that you guys would be down for it. And Zelda says, like, yo, like that was my brother's sister-in-law.
Yo,
like,
that was like my sister. That
was my sister-in-law. Yeah. And she says, sometimes I don't think that you know the meaning of family at all.
It was cute.
Because it's fucking true. Like, Sabrina,
but also Zelda has to act more like she actually gives a shit.
That's fair.
Like, she doesn't talk about her mom like she does. She's a cool girl. She's just like, yo, your mom's like trash. She never says the really cool things about Diana either.
That's totally fair.
They've kind of cut her out of their stories about, you know, Sabrina's parents,
her upbringing
kind of,
and stuff as well. Yeah, that's
so
fair.
you're not talking about her like in the best way either.
I just think that Zelda could have Zelda did come through in that moment.
She did. My best moment I think is the seance, like seeing the mom come back, and like one of my favorite parts from Casper. Remember with
it was so Casper to me.
Is when like the mom comes back, right?
And she talks,
like her mom. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry because like that was really sad.
Yeah.
The mom comes back and there's like a light around her,
yeah.
and it very much felt like that in this episode where like there was like glowing light coming from like her dress.
It totally
so
was.
So it reminded me of that.
Even had like the soundtrack. It sounded
kind
very
of
much like the twinkle lights.
It was really sad.
Yeah, it was really cute.
It was cute.
I liked it. But are you looking forward to seeing that kind of like play out again? Do you want to see more of the mom, like you said, or?
Yes,
but not in this
like
way.
I said before, I just want it to feel real, and I want it to be good. I don't want it to be cheesy.
Yeah,
you know,
I
want it to be really emotional. Yeah,
for sure.
And I don't, like we were saying before, whether like it would have made sense if it was all about Diana, because it is Christmas and I get that she misses her mom,
right?
But I think it's just, I just wish they kind of had it on its own.
Yeah.
So that we could have just sat with Diana
been
a bit
able
more.
to like appreciate it better. Yeah. I agree.
WTF moment.
What was your WTF moment?
My WTF moment is them getting rid of Gryla.
Yeah.
And then being like, yo, we need her back.
Like, come back.
Like, I don't know. Like, it just felt like is the writing shit? Is that why they couldn't make sense of it all?
Yeah.
Because like you brought her in and then you like took her out and then you brought her in, like you needed her again.
Let her have like one story. She had like 7 stories in one.
Exactly.
So extra. I agree. It was just very random. Like, why is this happening? My WTF moment is Sabrina's mom's arrival and why she decided to show up in this episode only. I just didn't think it made a good enough of a connection to say like, oh, the veil is thin right now. Like, yeah, the veil is thin during Halloween too. Like, why can't you do during Halloween? Yeah. Like on your baptism maybe.
Yeah, because like you were so strong at that time.
Yeah.
Like, or whatever. Like you could say that about everything.
Yeah, it just, why connect it now?
Yeah.
You know? And it just didn't make any sense to me.
My MVP is gonna go to Harvey because I was so impressed by how non-thirsty he was towards Sabrina. He was very like, yo, keep your shit away from me. Like, I don't want your magic around my life.
Yeah.
He kind of stood his ground. I mean, he did stand his ground. And then like even at the end, he was like, take your damn pencils back. I don't need them. So I was just like, ooh, like he's pretty hot.
He's into it. Yeah.
MVP.
My MVP on the flip side of it is gonna be Sabrina. I think that like for the first time ever, all of her stuff kind of worked out properly.
Yeah, I mean,
like the thing with Gryla and her tricking of Gryla, like it actually like worked out properly for her, for the first time ever. Even though she's the one that like let the freaking pacifier fall out of her mouth in the first place. Yeah. So it was like, you idiot! You had one job, Sabrina. But yeah, I mean, everybody else kind of sucked to me this episode. So like Sabrina, sure. Moving on.
My LVP is Sabrina for not dyeing her eyebrows.
I'm dead.
Because they bothered me the whole time.
That's so fucking funny.
They bothered me the entire time.
Because they're like so dark.
Yeah. And her hair's like so white.
I feel like if she had like bleached her eyebrows, she would look so whack. Like she would look like transparent. LVP. My LVP was Roz for not saying shit until like the very crucial end moment of the episode. I was like, are you fucking serious? You're gonna wait till right now?
Yeah, I want to know how the cunning works, when it works, how much information does it give out at one point.
Because she got a lot of information, but she just didn't say it till that moment.
Yeah.
And like, why doesn't anybody use a phone to get this shit done like quicker?
The best line.
What was your best line?
My best line is that moment between Roz and Sabrina when Roz is like, Susie's been missing since last night and I think she's in trouble. And then Sabrina's like, Susie's missing? For how long?
Really bad writing, guys. Bad writing. My best line is gonna go to Zelda, and she says, why tonight of all nights on the eve of the solstice that you had the sudden need to contact your mother?
Yeah.
That was good.
That was good. That was really good. I like that.
Wait, guys. Yeah. Miranda Otto, come through. Yeah, that was mine because I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, why did you think that you could do a seance on the day that, like they said, like, keep the Yule log going and don't fuck this up? I was just like, such bad timing, Sabrina. Yeah. Such bad timing. That's the episode, guys.
That's it.
I really want to know what you guys thought about it, so let us know in the comments below. We're not coming back until the new year, so I hope you guys have a great holiday season.
Yeah.
And happy new year. And that's pretty much it. But before we leave, we just want to thank our rewind patrons. So we got a special thank you to our lit rewinders, Tina N, we got Serena, we got Namas, and we got Sarge. Thanks for coming true, y'all. And also we got a mommy rewinder. Thank you, Becca Sarah.
She's our mommy.
And if you guys want to join our Patreon family and get all this great exclusive content that we'll be sharing on there, make sure you check it out on patreon.com/recap_rewind.
And the link is also in the description below.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know what Patreon is, it's basically a community that we've created where you can sort of donate whatever you can to our account, and we kind of just include exclusive content for you guys, prizes, giveaways, special videos. So all of that extra special good is on our Patreon account, and if you guys want to show some love, then you guys can check us out on there. So
for sure.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Yeah,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas
from Recap Rewind.
That's it. Bye.